Okay, let's go to the beginning of the chapter. Let me know when you're ready. Page 1. Everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay,
There.
awesome. So, Ivan, who must be licensed? Will you read who must be licensed?
Yeah. Jersey for another person for a fee, commission, or other valuable consideration must have a real estate license. The state of New Jersey created real estate licensing regulations to protect the general public from unscrupulous brokers and salespeople. In New Jersey, licenses have been administered
Sí, ¿qué tal?
by the New Jersey Real Estate
¿Me llamaste?
operating with the Department of Banking and Insurance.
Yeah.
Licenses are governed by the Real Estate License Act,
Uh-huh.
Title 45, Chapter 15, and rules and regulations set up by the Commission known as Title 11, Chapter 5.
No, eso no significa que lo vamos a rentar a ellos. Yo hice un open house. Un segundo. Please continue. Yo hice un open house. Entonces yo no puedo poner open house. No vengan si eres esta persona, esta persona, esta persona. No, estoy haciendo uno de nuevo. Hoy día hay otro open house. Usted dijo que disculpe, yo pensaba que si podía enseñar cuando quería, entonces no, me olvidé de avisarte. No, yo como usted necesito traer bastante gente, hice un aviso público de open house. No va a ser todos los días, como son los finales del mes. No va a ser todos los días, claro que no. Como los finales del mes, este es el tiempo, un segundo. Yes, please keep going. Como esos finales del mes, este es el primero es mayo. De 10 personas va a ir una persona que te va a gustar. Entonces, paciencia, te lo prometo.
Two are chosen from the general public and one represents a department of the state government. All members serve 3-year terms except the governmental members, who serve at the pleasure of the governor. The governor has the right to remove any member.
Y no lo vas a hacer. No lo vas a hacer. Por la ley yo no puedo decir, tú no puedes venir. Como No. No, eso es ridiculez. Porque eso es una ridiculez. Una ridiculez de 10 personas en un apartamento de 4 habitaciones. Eso no puede ser. Sí, pero yo no lo voy a alquilar a ellos, no se preocupen. Yo estoy en tu parte, no de ellos. Para mí no me importa lo que necesiten. No. No, por la ley, no se preocupe, su esposo me dijo muy claro lo que quiere y yo entiendo muy bien lo que están buscando y como usted tiene mucha paciencia esperando a la persona adecuada, yo hasta más. Yo no estoy una persona sin dinero que estoy en la lucha alquilarlo, no, para nada. Yo soy una persona estable y yo puedo esperar contigo y esperar a la persona perfecta. Disculpe que va gente que yo no puedo controlar quién va porque es un open house. Se asustó. No.
the National Association of Realtors,
y
a private trade
no,
association.
ni no va a ser así, no va a ser así. Tú verás que va a ir mucha gente.
Activities
Tú
covered.
verás,
When the work
yo
is
puse un
made
aviso
available for another person in
por varias
anticipation
partes y pagué por un aviso para que vaya bastante personas, porque como a finales del mes, eso es cuando va más gente que nunca. Entonces se va a salir alguien bien, tú verás. Y si no, seguimos.
So scholarship, prospective purchasers and sellers negotiate.
No, yo pensaba que era 3, 4, pero 5 está bien. Yo tengo solamente ya una familia pequeña, una familia humilde, una familia que puede pagar y tiene prueba que pueden pagar sin ningún problema. No, eso es mucho, no se preocupe, yo estoy en tu parte, yo no estoy apurada tampoco, tranquila. Unfortunately, I can't control who goes. I wish I could. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even understand why someone, a family of 10, would even show up. Like, come on, be realistic. That's crazy.
Attorneys, executors, trustees, receivers, administrators.
I'm not proposing anything. I don't even want them as a client. Honestly, these people are not my clients. You're my client. I don't care who they are. I don't want to know. I'm only for you. I'm not for them, okay? Okay.
Payment for service.
And you're entitled to ask these questions.
Services form. It is legal for anyone to share in any portion of a commission without a real estate license. A broker may share commissions only
No,
with
pero
his or her
sí,
associate
algo sí te voy a pedir, no hablas con ellos, no les digas a
or
nadie.
with another broker in the event of a cooperative listing or referral, including a broker who is licensed in another state. One exception after
No,
the new law went
it's crazy. It's too much. It's too much.
the selling broker to relate part of the commission to the buyer in the
Sí, mucha gente me están llamando y y cuando me llaman sí hablo con ellos, pero si es open house, mucha gente solamente va, no llaman. Sí, así es.
Salespersons and brokers often use assistants, secretaries, and similar support staff who are not allowed to perform activities.
Sí, mucha gente hoy día hablé con varias gente y casi todos son y ni los quiero ver en persona. Pues si no puede una conversación normal, olvídate, yo quiero gente normal, no gente como media imbécil. Hell no. Eso causa problemas.
An unlicensed assistant or secretary may not show property, answer any questions about listed property.
Oh, sí, me dijo ella, pero dijo, ya está, así, y esas son las personas que nosotros no queremos ahí tampoco.
They cannot discuss or explain any contract or any other real estate document with anyone outside the brokerage firm. They can make
eso pasa. Tú sabes cuántas veces la gente me tratan mal, pero yo, como decía mi abuelo, las palabras van con el viento. Okay. No, es que yo soy dueña de escuela de real estate school también. Sí, cuando tú quieres tomar tu clase me avisa, ¿ok? Okay. Okay, no problem. Por eso yo tengo gente que trabaja bajo mí, porque ellos trabajan como yo les digo, pero yo soy la persona encargada, yo hago las decisiones. Ellos solamente están ahí para abrir la puerta. Okay. Okay, bye.
They can also compute commission checks. License qualifications. To obtain a salesperson's license or an SLWREC's license, the candidate must be 18 years or older, prove a high school education or equivalent, furnish evidence of good moral character, successfully complete a 75-hour pre-licensing course, disclose his or her social security number for child support enforcement purposes, provide documentation of citizenship or legal residence in the United States. They pass a state examination and be sponsored by a licensed real estate broker to activate the license. The applicant for a broker's license must be 18 years or older, prove the equivalent of a high school education, furnish evidence of a good moral character, have served 3 years as a full-time licensed salesperson, or 150 hours of study consisting of 90-hour general broker pre-licensing course, a 30-hour pre-licensing course on broker ethics and agency laws and relationships, and a 30-hour pre-licensing course on office management and related topics. Disclose his or her social security number for child support and personal purposes. Provide documentation of citizenship or legal residence in the United States and pass a state examination. Exceptions. The experience requirement for a broker salesperson's license can be waived for an honorably discharged war veteran with a service-connected wound or disability. License and renewal fees are also waived. The Commission may agree to waive the education requirement for a licensed broker from another state, someone previously licensed as a New Jersey broker within the past 5 years, someone who has taken an equivalent real estate course in college, New Jersey attorneys, and in some cases, certain applicants who took an equivalent pre-licensing course in another state. No license will be issued to anyone convicted within the preceding 5 years of forgery, burglary, robbery, any theft other than shoplifting, criminal conspiracy to defraud, or in any like offense. New Jersey does not recognize licenses issued in any other state. So no reciprocity.
And what that means,
required experience.
Wait, one second, Ivan. Thank you. So what that means is when New Jersey does not recognize licenses issued in another state, which basically means in order to become a New Jersey real estate licensee, you're licensed in a different state, you have to take the course and behave as if you never took the course and you're not licensed in a different state. Other states do allow you just to take the course, not to take the course and just take the exam and go straight to the punch and just go straight to becoming licensed. So every state is different. Let's go back to state licenses, page 2. That's on the test. You need to know the difference between a broker, a salesperson, a broker salesperson with a real estate referral company, and a real estate referral and realtor. You have to know the difference between all 5. The tricky part when you hear broker, salesperson, and broker, they're all different. So for example, and I tell you, I'm a real estate broker. I'm a licensed real estate broker, which means I am licensed as an individual that has 3 years or more full-time experience in real estate and went through all the credentials and requirements in order to obtain a real estate license. With a broker's license, you're able to open up your own real estate office. And you're also able to take the instructor's course and get your instructor's license. A real estate agent who is not a licensed real estate broker yet is not able to do those requirements. Let's continue with the Real Estate Commission. If we go one paragraph up, the real estate, this is on the test, the Real Estate Commission. It is appointed, there's 8 members that are appointed by the governor. 5 are real estate brokers who have been licensed for at least 10 years. 2 are chosen from the general public, and 1 represents the Department of State Government. All members serve 3-year terms, except the governmental member who serves at the pleasure of the governor. The governor has the right to remove any member for cause. Referral. To collect the real estate commission, you must be licensed to collect a real estate commission. What is it? Being a referral agent, what do you think that means? Whoever wants to go can go. Anyone? No?
What?
What?
Wait, what was the question?
To be a licensed real estate referral agent, what do you think that means?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming you can just refer people.
Yes, exactly. So you're a licensed real estate agent. You're not an active real estate agent, but you are able, for a fee, refer clients to other real estate agents, and once it closes, you still get paid. Do you understand that part?
Pay to refer them, right? If it sells, or yeah, right?
Yeah. So if it sells, for example, Ivan, you're licensed. You're a licensed real estate agent, and I'm a referral agent. I have a client since I am licensed. But I'm just a referral agent. I'm not able to show this client houses or give them any real estate advice at all. But what I am able to do is I'm able to refer them to you, Ivan, since you're licensed, and because you are licensed, you're able to accept the referral and help out the client. And once it closes, your agency will send my agency a referral fee and whatever we agreed upon.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and in order to collect a referral, you have to be licensed in order to collect the commission. Unlicensed assistants, are not allowed to do the following on the bullet point list. If you are found to have a licensed assistant that is who are doing these items like cold calling. Cold calling is basically you're calling strangers and potentially seeking their business. Licensed assistants are not allowed to do that. Licensed assistants are not allowed to explain contracts to anyone at all. They're not allowed to make phone calls to collect rent. They're not allowed to, if they do attend a home inspection, it has to be accompanied with you. They can't answer any questions about the property or show the property. And additional to that, what they can do is they can answer calls, they can forward calls, they can pick up keys, deliver documents, keep records, follow up, compute commission checks, and just administrative work. That's what they're allowed to do. Required experience. A candidate for a broker's license must have been continuously employed on a full-time basis as a real estate salesperson during 3 years immediately preceding the application. Full-time means the applicant worked at least 40 hours per week between the hours approximately 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. During that time was not employed elsewhere except on a part-time basis, no more than 25 hours a week. The licensee must be able to show evidence that he or she had experience in listing, selling, leasing property during the 3-year period. This part of this chapter is on the test. Time limit on application. Applications for a real estate license must be submitted onto the commission within 1 year of the date when the candidate successfully completed the pre-license course. Otherwise, the course must be taken over. So once you finish taking the real estate course and you take the school exam, you have 1 year to submit your application to the real estate commission. 1 year exactly. Corporations. A corporation can be granted a real estate license only if one of the officers hold a broker's license. That person then becomes a broker of record for the corporation and is personally responsible for all transactions for which the real estate license is required. Examinations. Fees for the license examinations are paid directly to the independent testing center that runs the examinations. Special arrangements can be made for the people who are blind, disabled, or have extreme language difficulty. The examination service provider for us is PSI. Temporary license. This part is on the test. Logan, did I send you this page?
No, I didn't receive that page.
Okay, let me send it to you before I continue. Brianna, would you like to continue for temporary license?
If a broker dies or becomes mentally or physically incapacitated and the office has no other broker to carry on transactions already in progress, a temporary broker's license may be issued to a salesperson with at least 3 years' experience immediately preceding the date of application. The salesperson is expected to complete qualifications for a broker's license within 1 year. No extension of time is allowed. The application requesting a temporary license must be made within 30 days of the date of the broker's death and is effective from 1 year of the date of issuance.
Michael, will you continue, please?
Yeah, 1 second. For continuing education required for license renewal. License renewal is on July 1st in odd years. All broker salesperson, and salesperson licensees must complete 12 hours of approved continuing education courses before each 2-year license renewal. There's no exception for brokers who have been licensed for a long time. Completion between May 1st and June 30th of renewal year may subject the licensee to a processing fee of $200. An SLW RERC is not required to complete any continuing education unless and until he wishes to convert to actively listing and selling real estate. The required number of continuing education hours is determined by how long the agent has been at SLW RERC. See the website. The required courses should be completed on or before April 30th of the renewal of the year. The 12 hours must contain at least 2 hours on ethics and 6 hours within the core topics. Credit may also be claimed for certain courses taken in other states upon New Jersey Real Estate Commission's approval. Credit may also be claimed for courses approved as pre-licensed or continuing education in appraisal and banking professions related to the real estate brokerage.
Thank you. Failure to... Yes, please.
If a broker's or salesperson license is not renewed for 2 consecutive years or more after the expiration of the last license, it becomes void. At that point, the salesperson must once more meet all original license qualifications. In some cases, the broker need not retake the courses.
Thank you.
License fees. Okay.
Logan,
Yes.
do you have page 7, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, license fees.
Cost for initial license, including application, criminal history, record check, and real estate gratuity fund fees where applicable are as follows. Salesperson, $160. SLW RERC, $160. Broker, $270. Broker salesperson, $270. Branch office, $150. Corporations, etc., $270. Renewal fees are $100 for a salesperson or SLWRERC license and $200 for brokers. License transfer and termination. Managing brokers can register for online reporting entitlement at www.state.nj.us/Dobie/online services/Dobie online services.htm. Click register for real estate broker online services under the real estate broker section. Once registered, the managing broker may print out licenses and report transfers or terminations at https://portal01.state.nj.us. A broker who goes out of business must close out the escrow account, remove signs, notify clients, and provide the commission with the name and address where past records will be available for 6 years licensing procedure. To obtain the salesperson or SLWRERC's license in New Jersey, the candidate follows 3 steps. 1. Successfully complete the required 74 or 75-hour pre-license course and the state license examination and receive a score report. The school will notify the testing provider that the applicant has completed the course successfully. 2. Submit the score report signed by the sponsoring broker to the real estate commission. At the same time, the completed form is submitted, allowing the commission to request criminal history check as well as certified check, cashier check, a money order for $160. payable to the State Treasurer of New Jersey. 3, complete a fingerprinting process and consent to criminal history record check. The department strongly suggests completing the fingerprinting process as soon as possible after passing the state examination. The procedure is handled by Identico using the NJ Universal Fingerprint Form. Appointments may be scheduled on the internet at www.bioapplicant.com/New Jersey or by telephone at 877-503-5981. The website lists the different fingerprinting sites in the state. The fee for the criminal check and fingerprinting is $66.05, payable by money order, bank check, or credit card. Personal checks are not accepted. Each applicant must bring to the fingerprinting site a completed universal form, as well as a government-issued ID. Instructions for the fingerprinting procedure may be found at the website www.state.nj.us/division_rec/licensing/fingerprint.html.
Thank you. Page 8. Salesperson, or what do you think SLWRERC means?
Salesperson licensed with a real estate referral company.
Yes. Information. A New Jersey license examinations are administered by the testing center, PSI Services, LLC. What's great about PSI is you can actually go on the website and it gives you the actual bulletin about, and it gives you even test questions, and PSI is actually pretty resourceful. Once you take your school exam and you're able to take your state exam, you'll be signing up with PSI, and they have many different options. You can call over the phone or do everything online. And when you do, you can choose your own examination center. You can do it virtual or in person. You have both options. Make sure the day that you go there, they're going to ask for two different IDs, and one must have a photo. For example, it could be an insurance card, a debit card, and one definitely has to have a photo. They do ask you to arrive 30 minutes before the test. If not, you could be considered late. They won't let you in. The passing grade has to be 70%. And once you pass, you'll know right away. And if you fail, you'll know right away. The Guarantee Fund. The Guarantee Fund was established to reimburse members of the public who suffer monetary loss due to wrongdoing in real estate transactions by a licensed broker or salesperson or an unlicensed employee of a broker. The party must first obtain a court judgment naming the real estate commission as a party to the suit. If the party suffering the loss is unable to collect that judgment, he or she may apply within 6 years to the Real Estate Guarantee Fund for payment. A criminal claim must be filed against the offending party. No spouse of a licensee may bring action against a licensee under the Guarantee Fund. At time of the initial issuance of a license, each salesperson contributes $10, and each broker or broker salesperson contributes $20 to the Guarantee Fund, which is maintained by the state treasurer and administered by the commission. Maximum payment for a single claim is $20,000 per offense. If there is not enough licensees, an additional amount at the time of a license renewal. Once the fund pays a claim against the broker or salesperson, that salesperson license is revoked until the fund is reimbursed with interest. Rental referral companies. Every person working in a rental referral companies who for a fee refers prospective tenants to rental units is required to have a real estate license and to enter a written contract with each prospective tenant. This contract must specify such things and services to be provided, fees charged, and date and term of contract and refund policy. No rental property may be offered without the landlord's consent, oral consent, and must be confirmed in writing within 24 hours. Units that are advertised must be checked every day to see if they're still available. Units that are simply listed must be checked every 3 days. If prospective tenants are charged an advance fee for more than $25, regulations require that the deposit of the funds into an escrow account. Summary. We read the summary. Now, just question for everyone. When you read the summary and you read the key terms and you went through the questions, and then you went through the chapter. Did you feel like you found familiar information in the chapter?
Yeah, I seen a few familiar things.
Say, come again?
I said I seen a few familiar things.
Okay, did it help you like revisit it or think about it?
Yeah, it did. I actually just graduated from Bergen and I took a real estate class there. So it's kind of like refreshing some of the things that I did learn there.
Oh, good for you. And what about you, Ivan?
Yeah, every day we read the summary. It's just like a more condensed version of like the entire chapter that we read. Like, like they have a lot of the terms here and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's important you go through the summary daily. Like even if you can go through the summary a few times a day and do the key terms and the questions, you'll see that you definitely will pass. What about you, Logan? Did you feel like it was helpful?
Because of how I received it, I didn't get to go through all the review questions and whatnot. But yeah, it was definitely helpful. It's definitely something I'm going to review.
Okay, thank you. I'll do my best to get you a PDF version tonight, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. I apologize for the inconvenience. Michael, what about you?
Yeah, it was pretty useful. I thought I recognized a few things there.
Good. Now, I do suggest tonight you go through the key terms review and you go through the questions. Tomorrow we'll go through the answers. So then this way, and honestly, everything's behind the book. And I hope all of you just don't go to the answer sheet and mark it down. I really hope you study each question one by one because some of these questions will be on the test. So I hope you all really don't cheat yourselves and really study. Studying will help you pass. Let's go to chapter 2. I'll send this to you now. Brianna, chapter 2. Will you read the key terms?
Branch office, guilty knowledge, suspension, commingling, letter of intent, trust account, duplicate original, probation, waiver of broker cooperation. Is that connected? Sorry if it's not. Escrow account, revocation, and cooperation.
Okay. Let's go to the summary. I'll send this to you. Summary. Ivan, summary.
Licensees are governed mission. Is there a person who works on gratifying? No. Each broker maintains a special trust account, also known as an escrow account, to all the person.
Wait, Ivan, 1 second. It's really muffled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it better now?
Yes.
Each broker maintains a special trust account.
But Ivan, I'm sorry. It's really muffled. I'm going to ask you to pause. We'll come again to you, I promise.
All right.
Michael, will you continue? Each broker maintains a special trust account.
Each broker maintains a special trust account, also known as an escrow account, for funds belonging to other persons. Brokers must deposit such funds within 5 business days of receipt. Mixing escrow funds with the broker's own money is called commingling and is forbidden. The broker must keep for at least 6 years copies of all financial records, listings, and contracts, as well as numerous other documents. Unaccepted offers must be kept for 6 months. Every person is signing a real estate document must immediately must immediately receive a duplicate original. The broker must pay salesperson any commissions due within 10 days after the broker receives the fees. The salesperson leaves, commissions are paid in accordance with the agreement signed by the salesperson and the broker, and the broker must make an account in writing within 3 days of termination of any funds still due to the salesperson. Listing fees are negotiable between clients and brokers, and contracts can indicate that there is any set fee schedule. Every seller who lists real estate must receive a copy of the Attorney General's Memorandum of the Law Against Discrimination. Licensees can prepare sales contracts only one to four family dwellings and one family lots, and every contract or lease prepared by a licensee must carry specific language notifying the tenants or buyers and sellers that they have 3 business days in which to seek attorney's review of the contract. As a result of a New Jersey Supreme Court ruling in March 1995, all contracts prepared by licensees must have attached as cover sheet the notice advising buyers and sellers their right to hire an attorney. Although brokers owe special duties to their principals if they are functioning as agents, they must deal fairly with all parties and to any transaction. Unless otherwise instructed by the client, brokers must cooperate with other firms to find buyers for a specific property. All written offers must be promptly transmitted to the seller. All advertising by brokers must clearly state that it is being placed by a real estate company. All ads for property must name the municipality in which the property is located. No ads can refer to financing without including the words "to a qualified buyer." Rebate of the part of the commission may be paid by a broker to a buyer in the form of a credit or check. The arrangement must be established at the start of the relationship. All parties, including mortgage lenders, must be aware of it, and the purchaser must be alerted to possible tax consequences. The real estate commission must give 10 days notice of a hearing if a violation is suspected. It can put licenses on probation or subject their licenses to suspension or revocation. Fines of $250 to $50,000 are also possible.
Thank you. Let's go back to the
Useful websites: New Jersey State Government, www.state.nj.us. New Jersey Real Estate Commission, www.state.nj.us/dobie/rem.nu.shtml. New Jersey State Legislator, www.njleg.state.nj.us. National Association of Exclusive Buyer Agents, www.naeba.org. Real Estate Buyers Agent Council, www.rebac.net.
Thank you. We're going to take a few minutes to look at the key terms and look at the questions.
Continue, or?
No, we're just going to look, like last time, we're going to look at the key terms and the questions, for just skim through them for like 5 minutes.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry. We're going to review the key terms and the questions for a few minutes so we can get acquainted well with the chapter.
All right.
I found the PDF for it, so I'm going to send it to you now, Logan, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Anytime. Okay, let's start. License, law, and rules. Key terms: branch office, commingling, duplicate original, escrow account, guilty knowledge, letter of intent, probation, revocation, suspension, trust account, and waiver of broker cooperation. License, law, and rules. Both the license law and commission rules set standards for licensees. Most obligations fall on the broker with understanding that the broker is responsible for the associated salesperson observation of the rules. A salesperson may not accept any form of compensation from his or her supervising broker. Maintain an escrow account holding funds belonging to others. Work for more than one New Jersey broker at a time. Place of business, main office. Every broker who's a resident of New Jersey must maintain a place of business in the state. If the office is in the broker's own home, it must have a separate area with its own entrance, visible to the street. The office can never be in the home of a broker's associate. This avoids the practice known as license lending, in which a broker permits his or her license to be used by another person or business entity without actually supervising the business. The broker's name and the words "licensed real estate broker" must be displayed on the exterior. The license of the broker and those of any associate should be prominently displayed in the main office. A broker may not allow someone to use the firm name. The main office and persons working in it must be full-time direct supervision of either broker or qualified broker salesperson. Full-time means the supervising licensee is physically present at the office during usual business hours, 5 days a week, and is not otherwise employed. Branch office. Each branch office must be under the direct supervision of a broker or a broker salesperson and must have a duplicate license. Additionally, the name of all licensees and the branch office supervisor must be recorded with the commission and prominently displayed in the branch office along with the office license. No branch office can be in the home of a salesperson or broker salesperson. Trust account. Ivan?
Hello, is it better?
It is. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Trust account, escrow account. A broker must establish a separate special trust account, also known as an escrow account, is an authorized financial institution in New Jersey to be used for the deposit of all money belonging to the other persons, earnest money deposits, rent collections, and the like. The name of the financial institution and the account number must be reported to the commission both at license application and at the time of renewal. There is no need for a separate account for each transaction, but careful books must be kept so it's always clear how much money belongs to each client or customer. The account must be clearly labeled so that it cannot be claimed by creditors in the event of a bankruptcy or by heirs of the broker's death. Brokers are required to deposit funds coming into their keeping promptly, which the commission defines as within 5 business days of acceptance. Salespersons should immediately give any escrow money they receive to their broker. Brokers are specifically prohibited from commingling, mixing their own funds with their money in their trust account. In some circumstances, the broker may be authorized to collect a commission directly from money held in an escrow account. In that case, the business ledger should document the source of the authorization and the amount of source of the commission, and the amount and source of the commission, and the money should be taken out promptly after authorization. Leaving such money in the account for more than 5 business days might result in commingling. The broker is, however, allowed to leave a nominal amount of his or her money in the account to cover service charges and keep the account open. Advance fees. When a client places advance fees of more than $25 to the broker to assist with advertising costs for the broker must give the client an account of how the money is being spent within 90 days. Cash deposits or withdrawals. The customer or client who makes a cash deposit must be given a written receipt. The broker keeps a copy of the receipt. In accordance with federal laws, any cash deposit of $10,000 or more must be reported to the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Withdrawals from the trust account must be made payable to a specific person, never to cash. Permanent records. Every broker must keep records of trust accounts activity for at least 6 years. Regulation of documents. Sales contracts. Every person who signs a listing contract, sales contract, or lease should immediately receive a duplicate original of the document. That is, the licensee must provide multiple original copies for the parties' signatures. Any additions or changes to the documents after the original signing should be initiated by all parties initialed by all parties and a copy given to each party. Commissions are negotiable between client and broker. No contract can contain anything indicating a prescribed fee schedule. The commission requires the following statement be included in all listing contracts or sale contracts if there is no listing contract on the property for 1 to 4 family residences. As seller, you have the right to individually reach an agreement on any fee, commission, or any valuable consideration with any broker. No fee, commission, or other consideration has been fixed by any government authority or by any trade association or multiple listing service. Licensees can prepare sale contracts only for 1 to 4 family homes and single building lots. The sale or rental of commercial or industrial properties or businesses is accomplished on a letter of intent. A letter of intent is generally a non-binding document that references what the parties plan to do. Note that some provisions could be binding. The commission requires that all sale contracts prepared by licensees contain an attorney review clause, giving buyer and seller the right to consult to an attorney who may disapprove a contract within 3 business days after delivery and sign contracts to both parties. The specific language required is detailed in Unit 11. A similar clause is required to residential leases as covered in Unit 12.
1 second. So I just want to take note. Residential means 1 to 4 family homes. As real estate agents, we are allowed to write contracts and draft contracts for 1 family, a 2 family, a 3 family, and a 4 family, and leases. Residential leases. Once it's a 5 unit or more, it's automatically considered commercial. As this paragraph is stating, we are able to write a letter of intent, and once it's executed, the attorneys will write the contract. We are not allowed to alter contracts. We are able to draft contracts, get the contracts executed, but once the contract gets into the attorney's hands, only during attorney review, the attorneys are able to make the changes. I want to show you an example of a contract. I think it would be quite interesting for you to look at it. Go to page 174. I'll send you a copy of Logan of a contract in a few minutes. 1 second, I can actually do it really quick. I can send you a copy of a contract. It'll be blank. All these contracts will be blank. But if you look at it, the contracts basically fill in the blank. If you can just take a few minutes and skim through it, you'll see what I mean. We're just filling in.
Wait, what was the page?
174. I'm sending it to you now, Logan. I'm downloading it for you. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Anytime. Okay, I sent it. So the sales contracts are able to be filled in by us. If you do not put your commission into the contract, you will not get paid. FYI, and that's on page 11th page of the contract. If you're the listing firm, make sure you can put as per listing agreement. But if you're the participating firm, you have to put the commission due to you, which is usually in the listing that you pulled up from the multiple listing service. If you've not, like I said, if you do not put the commission, you won't get paid. It hasn't happened to me, but that's the first thing I was taught, and I take it with me every day. And then I remember when I first started, a listing agent was helping me fill out the contract since I was brand new, and they tried to guide me and saying, hey, you don't write anything there, you leave it blank. But since I knew I didn't leave it blank, I got really upset, and I still got paid, but the listing agent really wanted to make sure I didn't get paid. So as a new agent, I'm letting you know now, make sure your commission is in the contract. The attorneys can't add it in later. Let's go to the next page. Other documents. The broker, this is on the test. The broker must keep copies of all unaccepted offers to purchase for 6 months from the date of the initial offer. All copies of contract and sales agreements must be kept for 6 years. That's on the test. Also, bills for brokerage services, records showing payment to salesperson and cooperating brokers, bank statements, canceled checks, and deposit slips from the broker's business account must be kept for 6 years. All record files must be available for inspection at any time by the commission. They always remain the property of the broker. Salespersons may not remove anything from the broker's file if they leave that broker. Broker business relationships. Logan, will you go?
Sure. Any licensee involved in the sale of residential real estate containing 1 to 4 dwelling units, or the sale of vacant one-family lots or residential lease transactions for more than 125 days is required to supply information on business relationships to buyers and sellers or landlords and tenants. In accordance with 11:5-6.9 of the New Jersey Administrative Code in Appendix B. In addition to disclosing the nature of the licensee's relationships to all parties involved in any transaction, both verbally and in brokerage agreements, offers, contracts, or leases, the licensee must provide a copy of the Consumer Information Statement on New Jersey Real Estate Relationships, which is shown in Unit 3. Listing broker and seller principal. Brokers are bound to specific duties to their principal. Their obligation to put the principal's interest first, however, still requires fair and honest dealing with other parties. Brokers and all licensees, for that matter, are required to make reasonable efforts to ascertain all material information concerning the physical condition of every property for which they accept an agency or are retained to market as a transaction broker. They must also determine the financial qualifications of every person for whom they submit an offer to their client or principal. Reasonable effort includes inquiries to the seller or seller's agent about any physical condition that may affect the property. The property should also be visually inspected. To give sellers the best service possible, the Commission expects brokers to cooperate with other firms they may want to show the listed property. Anytime a seller directs a broker not to cooperate, the licensee must have a seller sign a waiver of broker cooperation form, which states, cooperation amongst brokers produces wider exposure of my property and may result in being sold or leased and at a higher price than would be the case were my broker not to cooperate with other brokers. I further understand that when my broker cooperates with other brokers, I can still have the arrangements for the showing of the property and all negotiations with me or my attorney made only through my listing broker's office, should I so desire. However, despite my awareness of these factors, I directed this property to be marked only through the efforts of the listing broker. This listing is not to be published in any multiple listing service. I will only consider offers on this property which are obtained by the listing broker, and I will allow showings of this property to be conducted by the listing broker or his or her duly authorized representatives. The listing broker is hereby directed not to cooperate with any broker. By signing below, the parties here do confirm that no pressure or undue influence has been exerted upon the owners as to how this property is to be marketed by the listing broker. The owner further confirmed receipt of a fully executed copy of the listing agreement on this property and of this waiver of broker cooperation form.
Thank you. Now, this form is only for clients who do not want their property to be broadcast and they only want it to be serviced by you and your agency. So there's two different types of listing agreements. There's the multiple listing agreement and there's an exclusive waiver of broker cooperation agreement. So broker and buyer principal. Now they did mention broker business relationships and the consumer information statement, which you'll see throughout the book as well. The consumer information statement basically states 4 different types of business relationships in New Jersey. Seller's agent, and when you hear seller, and due to the consumer information statement, seller and landlord mean the same thing, same category. They're basically the owner of the property. Buyers and tenants mean the same thing. So just you to know when when it comes to consumer information statement and I say seller, seller also means landlord. So in the consumer information statement, there's 4 different types of business relationships in New Jersey. The first one is the seller's agent, which means you work for the seller and seller only. You do have to work with the public honestly and fairly and reasonably, but you do not have to disclose the seller's information to the prospective buyer. Buyer's agent. The buyer's agent works strictly for the buyer, but does have to act honestly and fairly to any other parties that's engaged into the process, but they do not have to disclose any buyer's information. Dual disclose agent. Dual disclose agent basically means the agent and the agency works for the seller and the buyer, and they work fairly with both parties. And then there's a transaction broker. A transaction broker may work just like any other agent. The difference is they do not represent anyone. They just represent the contract, and they'll close the contract and do whatever it takes to close the contract, but they don't represent any parties. They do have to act fairly and honestly with all parties, but they do not represent the seller or the buyer. A broker and buyer principal. Brianna?
More and more licensees in New Jersey are functioning as buyer's brokers. In other words, they are being retained by buyers to help them find suitable properties. Again, these brokers and their associated salespersons are bound to specific duties to their principal. Their obligation to put principal's interests first, however, still requires fair and honest dealing with other parties. Broker as disclosed dual agent. Although an agent cannot give first loyalty to 2 or more principals in the same transaction, in New Jersey, the New Jersey Real Estate Commission allows a broker to represent both parties in a transaction, provided that the broker obtains the parties' written informed consent to the dual agency. Broker as transaction broker. The state has recognized that nowhere in the licensing laws that is it mandated that licenses must act as agents when rendering real estate services. Licensees in New Jersey have the option of functioning as transaction brokers without creating an agency relationship with any of the parties to a transaction. See Unit 3 or Appendix B 11:5-6.9 for the Commission's definition and the discussion of this term.
Thank you. Ivan, broker and salesperson. And wait, before we continue, I just want to touch bases on written informed consent. So written informed consent is when both parties are aware that you are a dual disclosed agent. They do have to sign the consumer information statement, but along with the consumer information statement, they also have to sign informed consent. And in informed consent, you'll see it says informed consent by a seller and informed consent buyer. There's two of them, and there's also an informed consent where both parties can sign the same document. But informed consent is a must. Broker and salesperson, Ivan.
Yes, broker and salesperson. Before the salesperson, you working with brokers.
I'm sorry, Ivan. It's happening again. We'll come back to you, Ivan. I apologize. It's happening again. Michael.
Right.
Oh, wait. Now we can hear you. Try again.
Yeah, okay, no, I think I know what's happening.
Okay, thanks. You can continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Ivan.
That's all right.
Okay, Michael, will you continue?
Broker and salesperson. Before a salesperson can begin working for a sponsoring broker, a written broker salesperson independent contractor agreement must be drawn up that includes the compensation rate paid the salesperson, straight salary and or commission split. For example, a broker promised to turn over monies to the salesperson within 10 days after a commission is received or as soon thereafter as the check has cleared. The rate of compensation to be paid the salesperson for transactions that close after the salesperson leaves the broker's firm, and a provision that any future changes to the contract will be binding only if in writing and signed by both parties. Sample agreement is shown in Unit 3. Any commission due on a transaction is paid to the broker and dispersed in accordance with the agreement the salesperson and broker entered into at the time the salesperson joined the company. If the salesperson leaves the company, the broker must make a complete written account of all monies due the salesperson within 30 days of termination.
Thank you. Advertising. Logan.
The New Jersey Real Estate Commission has regulations regarding any advertisement offering to sell, buy, exchange, or rent real property. They are intended to let the public know exactly with whom they are dealing. The regulations cover all media, including publications, broadcast, stationery, business cards, email, and web pages. Real estate listings that may be reproduced on websites by local newspapers, classified ad departments, individual salespersons and brokers, local and regional MLS sites, and on national sites like www.realtor.com. All ads must indicate the name of the brokerage company followed by a term such as realtor, realtist, real estate broker, or real estate agency. The licensee's name must appear exactly as it is on the license with the exception of any middle name or initial, which need not be used. A nickname may be added. An ad that includes a salesperson's name must also include the name of the real estate company in larger type or more prominently. The salesperson's full first and last names must be used. A nickname may also be included. An individual salesperson's webpage must display the phone number of the brokerage office or clearly indicate a link to the brokerage webpage. If an advertisement includes the licensee's home phone, it must be identified as such, residence or home, and the office phone number must be included and identified as such. All ads must specify the property's municipal location, specifically named in the ad or at the head of the column in which the ad appears. Such phrases as "in the vicinity of" are prohibited unless the body of the ad also contains the exact municipal location. If in an ad the broker refers to membership in a multiple listing service, MLS, the full name of that service must be spelled out. Exceptions include spot ads, 20 lines or fewer, no wider than one column, for sale signs, and business cards. Any advertisement that refers to home warranty must state whether the inspection is required, if the warranty is mandatory, and whether the purchaser is responsible for the payment of fees in connection with the warranty. Any ad offering a rebate to the purchaser of residential property must disclose the buyer's obligation to pay any applicable taxes and advise the purchaser to consult a tax professional. An ad may not indiscriminately promise financing. All loan terms must contain words "to a qualified buyer." Any sums mentioned in terms of payments or financing must be qualified by the word "approximate" or "estimated." If such a statement is not so qualified, the broker must have written proof of its validity and maintain this record for 12 months. No advertising or sign may indicate a property is sold until the sale is closed and title or ownership has transferred. Any offer of a free item or service must be genuinely free and cannot be contingent upon any purchase or listing of a property. A free offer cannot be linked to a lottery, contest, game, or drawing. Advertising that offers free appraisals is also prohibited, although offering comparative market analysis, CMA, is permissible. See Unit 10. The Commission regulations supplement the New Jersey law against discrimination by specifying no licensee may advertise or in any way express a discriminatory limitation. Unit 4. Any advertisement that mentions specific commission rate or amount must also state that in New Jersey, commissions are negotiable.
Thank you. Commission rebates. To prevent fraud, licensed law has traditionally forbidden any sharing of commissions with unlicensed persons. In 2009, however, the legislature passed an act allowing real estate brokers to provide a purchaser of real estate with a portion of the broker's commission in the form of a rebate. It can be in the form of a credit or a check. Restrictions and limitations apply to the rebate. It cannot be dependent on any lottery, contest, or game. Only a broker may pay the rebate, and it can be paid to only the purchaser. The arrangement must be agreed upon at the start of the relationship and included, for example, in the original buyer agency agreement. The purchaser must be advised to contact a tax professional about income tax consequences of a rebate, and all parties to the transaction, including any mortgage lender, must be made aware of it. Price fixing. Let's try again, Ivan.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay. To prevent fraud. Oh wait, which one is it? Is it price fixing?
Yes.
Okay. Price fixing. Any agreement between competing offices to establish standard commission rates is forbidden, not only by the federal government, see Unit 3, but also by the Real Estate Commission. Any offer to share commissions with other firms must be made on the same terms to all who cooperate. Probation, suspension, or